It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is the Action Sports Jacks postgame show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
Well, how was that? Everything we thought we would get?
Exactly what we anticipated and expected.
Really was.
The worst team in the NFL right now, and quite frankly, one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's. I've been hesitant to say this worst team in franchise history. One, because in 2011, I thought, even though they won some games, I thought it was disgusting to watch their offense play.
Yeah,
their defense actually was pretty good, but their offense was so bad.
Yeah.
And then in 2013, remember, they ripped apart the roster. It was the worst roster ever assembled in NFL history. Like, I think it was worse than the Detroit Lions rosters. And then they somehow found a way to win 4 out of 5 games. I don't know how. Remember 0-8, they got beat historically bad.
Yeah.
Dan, this team I think is worse than all of them. And they have a franchise quarterback who maybe he's not going to be great, but he certainly isn't that bad. They've had worse quarterback play in town, is my point.
Well, they're in the process. This is the most concerning thing. They're in the process of ruining the kid.
They might be.
And if they don't fix this thing now, he will be ruined. If they hire the wrong coach, keep the wrong general manager, or make a bad move organizationally, Trevor Lawrence will be ruined.
I will say this, Dan.
Because there's not anyone who can, stand up to that, especially as a rookie. So
yeah, you can't. I mean, you can tell he has this look in his eye.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, what's going to happen on the next time I snap it?
What happens is he starts out fine, and I think the last 4 or 5 weeks, if you looked up how he started, you'd see like 8 of 9.
Yeah.
Like he starts out well.
Yeah.
And then, Rock Armstead, with all due respect, who they take off the scrap heap, it goes right through his hands, and it's a pick. And I think that plays on the kid like, gosh, and then Tavon Austin runs around. Then there's another pick. And he's like, you read his lips to Tavon Austin. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And
you haven't seen much of that. He's been very good body language.
He's been great. I mean, but it has got to be wearing on him.
Yeah.
They are so bad. I mean, that flat out, I got texts from people, my brother, okay, who doesn't ever text me about sports. We'll talk about sports every now and then. My brother. This really is unspeakably embarrassing. There are no words to describe how bad this is. I mean, he's watching football.
You want me to read my text? I got a text from a buddy of mine, and he says, any chance they just lock the locker room door, route them quietly to the bus and to Logan Airport at halftime? This is really unfair.
At Pusser's watching the game, they shut the Jags down after the third quarter for the Bucs game. Even our local bars have apathy. You cannot get the game on here anymore. I truly feel badly for Trevor. Hopefully he doesn't have Ramsey's agent.
I would hire the Mayhem guy from Allstate to run our team. At least it would be funny.
Why is Trevor still in the game? I mean, I can't watch this stuff. This is all texts that I'm getting during the game. Your radio station should replay this game tomorrow.
Are we ready to take Darrell Bevell? Somebody tell me. I see him,
so.
But are we ready to take him?
Oh, sure. Let's take him.
I think they're still playing.
Just to continue to get better. And, we were able to put a drive there together, and, we ended up scoring a touchdown. So, it ended up working out in our favor. It was important that, obviously that we protect them and do those things in that drive. But, I thought it worked out okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Let's go to Mike DeRocco.
Darrell, what are you saying to the guys when they're in the middle of this game and it's gotten out of control that quickly and you've dealt with all this stuff over COVID the past week?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest message for them, was, we had a lot of different guys playing, and guys were getting different opportunities, and a lot of these guys have fought really hard their careers to be able to get this moment that they had, and I wanted them to continue to play, continue to work for one another. It's not an easy situation for anybody, but the thing that we are playing for is we're all playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but also the name on our back, and everything that we do is being evaluated, and you have an opportunity to go out. You need to be able to put forward your best showing, and you need to continue to play and give us everything you have.
Is the game today a little bit of a microcosm of this franchise is a bit in disarray at this point? Then you've got one of the more stable franchises in the league with the Patriots, and how things can be so different for two rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, really, Mike, I'm not worried about all that. I'm just worried about this one team against this one game, and really focused on a week-to-week basis and trying to do the best we can. I mean, there's a lot of circumstances and things that these guys are fighting through, and I'm just asking for them to give me their best at all times, and that's what we're hoping for. And it didn't work out for us today. We didn't protect the ball on offense. We couldn't get a stop on defense, and that made it a tough day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Let's go to Gary Smith.
Coach, especially on defense, I mean, was it almost like you're choosing up sides in the playground? You looked around yesterday or today and saw what you had, and is it difficult to slap together a cohesive unit given everything you've been through?
Well, I mean, it was, like I said, it was been a rough week, but other teams have had these challenges. I don't know what it ended up, 20-something guys that we had on the COVID list. There's some of the guys fought back hard to be able to get back. Some of them weren't at full health even as they're playing. But they wanted to be out there, they wanted to play, and Trent had a tough job as well. To put guys on the field that gave us the best opportunity. So I thought these guys came out, they played hard. I didn't see them quit. Again, I want to look at the tape. They broke out a long run there in the fourth quarter, and I saw 5 Jaguars trying to run them down and giving us full speed. Josh Allen's one of them from the backside. So that's what you want from these guys. You want them just to continue to keep working.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's go to John Shipley.
Hey, Darrell. I know without looking at tape and the game just being over, it can be hard to judge an offensive lineman's performance. But how did you feel just about what Walker Little did out there today, considering it was his second career start?
Yeah, John, it's going to be hard for me to really evaluate it right here. I thought there were some good things that we did. Trevor wasn't under a lot of pressure. There was a couple early sacks I think that we had, but I want to go back and look at the tape before I talk too much about individual performances.
Did you feel like today was something the challenge the offensive line answered? Just considering how many guys were down.
Yeah, it was a tough job. At the beginning of the week, I thought we were only going to have one guy in there from our starting lineup, but we were able to, like Andrew Norwell's one of those guys that fought back hard to be able to play for us, and he just barely got a small workout in yesterday, and came out ready to play today. So it is what it is. It's a situation that we had. I thought the guys battled. I thought we did a really fair job of protecting him for most part of the day. The problem was the turnovers. I thought you could see that we had some continuity in our drives. We were moving the football, but when one ball goes through our hands and we throw them another one, it makes for a tough day.
Thanks, Coach.
Right. It looks like there's no other hands raised and no other text messages. So with that, we'll let you go, Coach. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
I want to wrap because he's done. Yeah. That's why I want to wrap Super Bowl live.
That's Darrell Bevell.
I feel bad for Darrell Bevell to a point. He's getting paid a ton of money. He's under get paid off to leave. So it stinks. But to sit up there and say, we did some good. It was an embarrassing performance by an NFL. Disgraceful, quite frankly. I can't. There's not enough. I don't know what else to tell you. We've done
the last 2 trips to Foxborough, they've given up 101 points and forced 1 punt. Yeah. And by the way, for the sake of this organization and where it's at, that was 2015, and now we're in 2022, and the story hasn't changed.
Well, it's changed in terms of winning organization, New England, losing organization in Jacksonville, but the faces are different now. But we're still losing, and they're still winning. What does that tell you, people?
I tell you, I don't know how those guys can sit through this. They've seen good football before. They know what good football, it has got to be extremely hard. But I will say this, and I don't like to call out the players much, but sooner or later, there's got to be a little pride on the line.
They got pushed around.
They got pushed around 2 weeks in a row by the Jets and the Patriots. Yeah. And it's like, you got to man up sooner or later and have a little pride and compete, don't you?
I'll tell you what, listen. Darrell Bevell should have got out there and said, I can't get to the plane fast enough. It's 4:09, and he already met with the media.
It's done.
We've done this post-game show the whole year.
Yeah.
We usually get the coach at about 4:45. Yeah. That's how fast they want to get the hell out of New England right now.
It's an embarrassing franchise right now. There's no other way to say it.
We've now cinched a top 2 pick, by the way. Congratulations.
Good. That's
right,
nice.
because there's nobody else. We have 2 wins. The best we can do is 3. Only Detroit can catch us.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and we're not going to win again, so we will have the first overall pick. I'm just telling you, for the actual mathematically, we're either first or second now.
You've been around here. We can throw up some notes and stuff while we talk about this. But Dan, you've been around for every year.
Yeah.
This franchise has been an embarrassment before on the field. But if you take it in totality, 2021 is going to go down as the most embarrassing year in franchise history from an off-the-field, on-the-field standpoint. From Urban Meyer and the product to absolutely being 1-15, having the number 1 overall pick, and making the product worse. Right. Making it worse, making the franchise worse. They are in a deeper hole to dig out of, whoever comes in here, than they were last year when they were 1-15 and got Trevor Lawrence.
Brent, I'm reading this book called Quarterback, okay? And in the book, it was talking about, it's one of the people they feature is Doug Williams. And Doug Williams was part of the Bucs organization. Now, before he got there, the Bucs opened their career 0-14 and 2-12. The Bucs were at worst and then lost their first 2 of the next year. And in print, they said the Bucs have gone 3-28. Now, this was an expansion franchise. We are not an expansion franchise. This is year 27 and year 26. We're going to be 3-30. And really, the only thing that's different from last year is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's worse.
Oh, in many ways, it's worse. I think it's more toxic inside.
Yeah.
I think there's no one defending the organization right now.
Yeah.
There's no way to defend the organization right now. Like, there is no. I've said this for weeks to people inside the organization that I've talked to. Just give me something to hold on to.
I wish.
Give me something going into the offseason to hold on to. And Trevor isn't it. Like, you can't grab onto that because it's still a little pie in the sky. Listen, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I think he's got a chance to be good. But right now, all those people that said Jacksonville's going to ruin him are right.
Yeah.
They're on the way to ruining the quarterback.
I wish that about 10 of the Jaguars would have done what Antonio Brown did today. Took their shoulder pads off and left because they shouldn't be playing in the NFL. Now, this is all not talking about the COVID stuff, but today what you got was a dose of just how bad the roster is.
Yeah.
Because we have no depth. The starters are really bad, and the guys behind them are worse.
Yeah.
And when they were forced into action, you saw, again, this is Mac Jones, who's a rookie in the NFL. And he's had a wonderful year, and he's a good player, but he's not a great player.
No.
And the Patriots offense is not a great offense. They're known for their defense. They scored on the first 6
They scored on every drive but one. They punted, and they kicked a field goal on the other, and they scored touchdowns on the others. And he was sitting here patting the ball like this.
And if so, right. And if you're going to sit there and come back and tell me, and I've had this argument for the last 6 weeks. But the defense is okay compared to the offense that is so bad. The defense is okay, but as an NFL standard, it's not okay.
No,
it's not good enough. Those guys all need to be called out. Every one of them. I mean, Josh Allen is at the end of year 3 now.
Yeah,
Brent. Josh Allen, he's not a bust, but 5.5 sacks ain't going to get it done. He hadn't done anything since the Buffalo game.
He really hasn't, Dan. And listen, I love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player, and I love the guy. I love the kid. He's a good player, I think. But him and Miles Jack have gone invisible on the. I mean, Miles Jack isn't making a play.
And yet,
when's the last time Miles Jack made a play?
Right. And yet, you feel like if either of those two guys went somewhere else, they would take off.
Yeah, because I think Miles. Is it fair to say Miles might just be he has to be in this perfect scheme?
I think he's out of position
because
again.
He's not playing well in this position.
I'm not an expert, but again, I watched him play on the outside. I watched him play on the inside. He's way better on the outside. But he's on the inside in the 3-4, and I don't think it works for him.
Yeah, the best play I saw Josh Allen make in the last 6 weeks was running downfield today to chase that down, which was a great hustle play.
He hustled and made a tackle about 40 yards downfield.
When you're down by 40, it was a nice hustle play, but still, that's the best play I've seen Josh. Yeah. Like, we wonder sometimes if he's on the field.
I mean, what do we have? The Jihad Ward sack that wasn't a sack? Was that it?
That was it. I asked him, I said, what's the play on defense? Give me one play that you would say is a play.
Yeah.
And that would be it. And that was kind of a tough call.
When was the last time you saw a Jacksonville Jaguar offensive player with the football make somebody miss? Tell me, if you can think of one. Anyone.
I can't.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Make you miss? No, LaVisca will run you over or through sometimes.
Right. Make you miss. Go whoop. Like I could say Kendrick Bourne did that today. They played a guy today who never caught a pass in the NFL, and he should have had 3 touchdowns.
He caught 2 touchdowns.
And he dropped one.
He did.
And I got our rookie dancing around like he broke it up after he whacked him on the head. I mean, it's just, again, I don't don't know what else we could say except be brutally honest. And It's
the last resort is hammering the players. You know they're trying. I guess they're trying, but the lack of focus, the lack of want to the last couple of weeks in the run game has been evident. Joe Cullen is a want to guy. This has got to hurt Joe at the core because these guys aren't playing hard enough. Like it's one thing to play. They're not laying up. I'm not saying that. They're not. It's not like they're not trying, but they're not.
Put up the schedule, Liv, or do you have to have somebody come in here and do that?
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Go ahead and put up another screen, and then I'll change the schedule.
All right, you change that, and I'll tell you that.
We do it all here on the post-game show.
Darrell Bevell had a touchdown pass.
By the way, Bevell's second play of the game, he missed a block on pass pro, and that was a sack.
Yeah, shout out to Marcel Robinson, who in the office after Bevell's touchdown said, "That'll make you forget about Enrique." His sister,
no, it won't.
Who's a Notre Dame girl who made all those shots. Rock Armstead, who cost us a turnover. It was nice to see him back. That's a nice story. Laquan Treadwell deserves to be.
By the way, Armstead's a nice story. Let me stop you, though. Because Divina Zigbo's on the Patriots practice squad and could have played in this game because the Jags have had him around the last few years. He chose not to get a game check so he could stay on the Jags practice, the Patriots practice squad and sit in a suite and watch the game. He probably made the right decision.
Probably did. He's
and as for Treadwell. Did he have almost a 100-yard game?
Yeah, he sure did.
Wow.
Boy, that nice 40-yard catch from that real good throw.
That was a nice throw. Good catch.
That was a good throw. But here's the schedule as we come back. And, we opened with the 5 straight. And again, and this we didn't have. This little period right here is all we got.
Yeah.
This is it. This game was.
By the way, today's first half for the Patriots reminded you of the second half of the Bengals.
Yeah.
When they scored on every possession.
Leading this game 19-10 late in the third. Could have won this game on the road. This game, the refs stunk. Won this game, and that's it. That is it. The rest of this, and Buffalo, it was still 9-6.
Well, actually, they went to the Colts. They had the ball driving.
Well, they did.
And then that was it.
But this, a lot of people are going to suggest the Colts. We've beaten the Colts at home 6 straight times. Well, that streak's going to come to an end.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's over.
6 straight years they beat. Oh, and at home they've beaten them 6 straight times.
6 straight, I think. That's 8 losses in a row now. 8 in a row. 8 losses in a row.
By the way, they haven't won a road game. It's 17 losses in a row on the road.
It just so desperately needs a reboot, Mr. Khan. Yeah, you have to know that. I think he does. But again, and today's dysfunction is, why is Balke interviewing coaches when he's not going to be here, or is he going to be here? And if he is here, then why aren't guys coming to get interviewed? Why are guys saying no? I mean, again,
and why is he really going to be here? There's no reason for Trent Baalke to have the GM job in Jacksonville.
I mean, Mr. Khan, Dan Hicken, right here, ask me and Brent. We'll tell you what you should do, at least. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out a little bit now.
I got to believe, we talk about the coaches and players being frustrated. I got to believe they are when they watch this stuff.
Yeah.
But the fan base is so fed up, and we understand that.
Sure it is.
But we knew. I'll tell you this, I knew they were going to lose 45-10 today or something.
Yeah.
And I'm a super positive guy, but I knew that was what we're heading. And it's still infuriating to watch.
Right. Well, as it happens, you get so mad.
And so I'm wondering, Shad Khan, he has to be at some point, pulling his hair out and saying, all right, we have got to just do anything. Doesn't matter how much money, doesn't matter how many moves, clear out the coffee machine, the new food, the whatever, and get rid of everything in that building.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I understand listen, I get it, man. If you're a fan of this, listen, we're the only organization, and I said this all during the offseason. There was one word I always went back to, hope. Now we have hope because we're going to get Trevor.
Yeah.
And then we got Trevor. I said, now we got hope. We got hope. This franchise somehow, some way has sucked the hope out of us.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get the right guy in, it will be hopeless.
Yeah.
And right now it's hopeless.
And by the way, 2 things give you hope sometimes. If you have a young roster, 3 things. You give a young roster, if you get the quarterback like they did, and if you get a coaching change. Usually that will give you new hope. That's not going to be the case this offseason.
No.
The fan base is in wait-and-see mode.
Oh, yeah.
There's no hope. It's going to be a tough sell for season tickets.
Oh, man.
For
God
any tickets.
Yeah.
They are going to now have to go out on the field and show that they're better than 3-30.
Yeah.
Show that they're better than 50-10.
Yeah.
They are going to have to showcase that before anybody buys in.
If we didn't get that late touchdown, it'd been the worst loss in Jags history. Thankfully, the Lions 44-0 in the first year still stands tall. where they were taking a knee with like 3 minutes to go in the game. Wayne Fontes, the coach of the Lions back then, I was there. It was beautiful.
Good man.
But yeah, this is just an abomination. I don't know what else to tell you. We're going to have to draft well. We're going to have to sign some free agents. And nobody has any faith in anyone who is making those decisions.
By the way, I'd also say you don't set – who cares about sustained winning and stuff anymore? Now you're to the point where Shad was actually in 2017 where he said, I'm fed up with this and I just have to win.
Yeah.
And so you go spend your money because you don't want this score ever to happen again.
You shouldn't.
And it shouldn't happen next year. And you got to find a way to get to 6, 7, 8 wins and stop being an embarrassment.
I love, like everyone, we're grateful to have a National Football League team. We're grateful to be part of the fraternity. We're grateful that Shad Khan has done wonderful things in the city. We're grateful that we're in Jacksonville, Florida, and we upset the world and got a franchise. But my gosh, enough of the torture. Let's get good. It's not, I hate to say this, but I believe this. It's not that hard.
It's really not. I've said
you can roll. It's harder to go 3-30 than it is to go 13-17.
It is.
What we would give to be what's our 6-9 right now?
Yeah.
Be great.
Yeah.
If we had been 6-9, we'd all be couldn't wait to get to the bank next week.
By the way, the New England Patriots spent $131 million on their defense so they could get to 6-9 or 7 wins or 8 wins. They got to 10 instead.
Yeah.
But the rookie quarterback, the Jags said, I don't think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Let's not spend our money. Let's get outbid by others. Let's not go get a tight end. Let's not go get Matthew Judon. Let's not go get players to make us successful around the rookie. So they set him up to fail instead. Whose plan was that? Urban Meyer, Trent Baalke's plan. Why was that a good plan?
Yeah, it's not a good plan. It's a terrible plan. A plan is this. Spend your money, get some free agents, get some draft picks, but you got to pick the right. It's just, again, we picked the wrong guys. And everyone in here, every Jag fan knows, come April, as we now start the countdown to Vegas, we're going to, if we pick Hutchinson, Thibodeau's going to be a superstar. If we pick Thibodeau, Hutchinson's going to be J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
we both know it. We all know. If we pick Evan Neal, then we'll say, okay, great, but the one thing we have is a left tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Robinson is the best offensive lineman of any of the 5. The rest of them can go, but you probably want to keep Cam.
Really? Well, what do you do with the guy you just drafted this year in Walker Little?
Well, you tell him, welcome to the right side. You're going to learn to play it. Well, if you can't learn to play it, you're going to be gone. And
that's fine.
Because the whole regime's going to be gone, so nobody's tied in. I mean, Tyson Campbell, as well as he's played, got beat by a 245-pound running back to the corner for a touchdown today. You can't let that happen, dude. No. You're fast as hell. Run the kid down and knock him out of bounds.
I'll tell you another thing that really is bothersome. We're watching the game, and Ty said this to me, but then somebody else on Twitter said, when was the last time the Jags just caught a pass? Like, without it going.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, catch the ball.
Yeah.
Like, does he throw a bad ball?
No. Throws a beautiful ball, quite honestly.
I mean, catch the ball. But everything is like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, LaVisca has to go off his face mask. Marvin Jones can't stand up and catch a ball anymore. It just goes, he goes down.
Everything great that's happened to Trevor Lawrence in his life as far as football, like being on great teams at Cartersville High School and being the man since he was a freshman and going to Clemson and winning a natty in his first, everything great has suddenly just come pouring down on him to show you, to give him a dose of how tough the position really is, man. And a lot of you out there, you drive me crazy on Twitter, though, man, because they just, oh my God, as soon as Trevor throws a pick, they all come at me. They all come. And
listen, he missed some reads.
Sure.
I went back. I criticized the staff for the scheme, but he went back on a 3rd and 3 when he threw it to the end zone. They kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
He actually did have Tavon Austin out there.
Yeah.
Could he have stayed through his progressions? I'm not saying Tavon was the first read, but stay there. He wasn't under pressure.
Right.
Don't throw it out of the back. So he misses some, but I saw Mac Jones miss a couple too.
Was that after Tavon Austin had ran the wrong route?
No, that was before. But my point, the point you make is, listen, he does make some bad throws.
Sure,
the pick was J.C. Jackson was a terrible decision and a terrible throw. But he also has no confidence in anything around him. And if you've ever done anything in life and played sports in particular, you know how that can snowball. And in his mind, I think you see it at the line of scrimmage. When they show the tight camera on the broadcast, you see almost like his mind saying, all right, what's going to happen bad on this play? Like you can almost read his eyes.
He can't. I'm sure he's lost trust in everyone in the organization.
Absolutely.
He can't trust the coaches. He just wants. Again, I said this morning, and I believe this. the Jaguars are a marathon runner who locked up at mile 20, and they're just on their hands and knees crawling because they have to finish.
Yeah.
If they don't finish, they don't get their financial reward, I guess. So they have to finish. So they're just going to crawl to the finish line. And today they got through another mile or two. But again, 50-10 to the Patriots, and that was, quite frankly, name your score for Belly. It was name your score. It was a name your score game.
Well, and by the way, Josh McDaniel's still throwing the football up 44-3. You almost wonder, hey, why didn't you guys give me a call? Watch this.
Well, maybe he should have. Maybe they should.
Maybe he should. I don't know. By the way, they chose Josh McDaniels not to reload this. They chose Tom Coughlin and Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
And for a year it worked.
Yeah.
And now they chose, it looks like, because we haven't seen, Belichick said nobody's asked us for permission.
Correct.
So that means they chose not to go get McDaniels, which makes you believe it's the wrong decision.
Right.
You know, why aren't you bringing McDaniels in? Did you see enough in 17 when you interviewed him?
I don't know, and I don't know who's helping.
The enemy, by the way, also not requested, apparently.
Then you read an article today that said Balky would like to get Bill O'Brien here.
Really?
Now, okay,
because that's a functional organization. He just
you want to talk about that going down the tubes. I mean, this is a guy who they gave power to run the organization, and he annihilated it. And if you're going to be on the same page as Balky, you're just going to keep this franchise at an all-time low. It's not a good idea.
By the way, just to reset, I mean, we're going on a week old on this Balky stuff, and it's the dumbest move the franchise could make. I mean, it's really a bad move if they keep Balky. Right. And I don't think it's happening. I've said it all week. I might be in denial, but I don't believe that Trent Baalke is going to be the GM.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it's even about Baalke and who he is and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. There are a ton of reports out there. I think it's more about what it says. We just said this, Dan. You've got to flush that building.
Yeah.
You've got to start over down there. This is not working. And so you've got to flush it. You do not keep somebody who's been around for the last 2 years of 3 wins in 2 seasons, a myriad of draft picks that you screwed up, and also a head coach, a GM, and another head coach that have been let go.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't keep that. What logic is that?
I can't imagine.
No logic.
I can't imagine that's going to be the case. But at this point, again, I would come out with, well, why is he leading the charge on the coach interviews?
Yeah, the only thing I can figure there is you need somebody with some football knowledge.
Find somebody.
I know.
I mean,
bring Bill Parcells in and give him $1 million to be a part of the crew.
Just have someone be a consultant and help me.
Tony Dungy.
Yeah, I need your help to find a good coach.
Yeah. I mean, at this stage, who cares about the money? Just go do anything it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I won the lottery last night, I was willing to buy out Baalke and pay for Devontae Adams' first year of his contract.
Unfortunately, it looks like he'll be franchised to stay in Green Bay. So your money's safe. Did you win?
This is the frustration level.
You didn't win the lottery?
I didn't, but I got another chance Monday, and now I'll even have more money.
Nobody won?
No, so I might pay Devontae Adams' second year.
All right.
Or maybe just buy off Green Bay to let him go.
50-10.
By the way, this says a lot right now. Ooh. You told us something. At 4:09, Darrell Bevell was gone.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is still not out there in terms of the meet. Like, he has not talked yet.
I don't want to go out there, he's saying.
Because this kid is frustrated beyond frustrated. You know what he is. And he's had to deal with a lot, do a lot. They've asked him to do. I cannot think of a worse situation you could have put a young man through this year.
No.
I really couldn't.
They annihilated the kid.
I mean, they absolutely just tried to destroy him. And I think he's tough enough. I think he's good enough.
From the first game of the season where they threw it 51 times. 51 times with a rookie quarterback on the road, which is just dumb. To today where they lead, quite
they
honestly,
should have been running the ball late.
After the third pick, you could have pulled them.
You could have.
I mean, I'm glad he got a touchdown pass.
I guess that's good.
They actually ran a screen pass and it worked.
Yeah,
how quite amazing. I watched them run a few that worked, and listen, I'm going to stay bullish on Trevor Lawrence. I think he's the only thing we got, though. I don't think we have anything else. I honestly believe that in my mind. The defensive line's okay. It's okay. The young secondary.
They've done nothing.
I mean, we need safeties. We need a lot, man. Again, that's why at the trade deadline this year, why didn't they make a deal? Trade one of your picks for an established NFL player who can help your franchise for the next 5 years. We need a ton of those guys. We're not going to be able to plug all the holes again because we plugged no holes last year except quarterback.
No, we created more holes.
Yeah, we have actually more holes.
Yeah.
We have actually more holes. And the guys who leave sometimes go out and contribute elsewhere. It's just a mess, man.
And by the way, you've got two guys that you really think are pretty good on offense coming off horrific injuries. One's a Liz Frank for a running back in Etienne who's never played a snap. Another one's James Robinson who's never even going to make it back by the first of the year.
Running back now factors into the equation.
Now you need running back play.
Yeah. In your third round here, you see a running back out there who you think's really good. You got to draft him.
I think the best move this franchise made this year, the best move, was probably trading for Dan Arnold.
Yeah.
And I actually want that guy back. I hope he stays healthy.
Yeah,
but I think he made a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. I'll take Dan Arnold, but I'm still drafting a tight end.
Oh, absolutely. It's not enough.
Yeah. Why not the kid from Iowa? He looks like he's a really good football player. George Kittle was pretty good from Iowa, wasn't he?
Are we going to hang around for Trevor?
No, we're going to leave. I was thinking 4:30 is my cutoff, but
yeah. I mean, what else did Trevor say?
There's nothing else to say. We'll play his comments. We can play his whole press conference tonight on Action Sports Jax primetime if we want.
Over under 3.5 minutes on the press conference.
There's not many people even around. I'd say 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. So we can play the whole thing on primetime today.
Yeah, we'll play it for you all. I mean, there's nothing else to do here.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Attaboy.
You guys
I
are
like
tired
that
of
executive
listening to us.
decision. We could go on, but it's just
we got
the same.
one more post-game show.
Yeah.
Coming up next week.
Yeah.
We got 2 more Jags Report Lives. One more Jaguar All Access. The countdown's been on for a while.
Well,
we're getting there.
Yeah.
You think you count down the new year? So do we. Just happens in mid-January.
Oh.
We'll see you tonight on Action Sports Jax primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Hopefully, by the way, Trevor Lawrence is physically okay because a lot of times when it takes a while to get to the news conference, you're getting treatment or testing or something.
Yeah.
But we don't think he got injured at all.
He didn't look too dinged to me.
So we'll hear from Trevor Lawrence coming up tonight, Action Sports Jax primetime. Have a good rest of your football Sunday. Good luck watching football teams that can play.
That's always fun.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.